Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. All right, I see there are a few people in. All right, thank you for coming. All right. So let's see what we have for the day. So, I have been working on this little simple game. Like, I don't want it to be like too much, right? I want it to be, I want to see how simple can you upload, for Epic to consider it, a game worthy of being, a public island and everything. So I already did a bunch of work and it might seems like I'm slacking a little bit. I'm really not. I'm struggling like for the first time with Unreal Engine. This thing is completely different. This thing is, and the Unreal Engine part is not as hard as you would think, but there are a couple of minutia things like making doors work and the game mechanics and the spawns and the conditions and everything. So everything is a little bit different, and the good thing is that everything is logical, right? It's logical enough for you to apply some sort of scientific method, right, and get everything to work. So just having these doors open in a slide way, sliding to the side was a nightmare, complete nightmare. Like the actual wording of things here and how the things work, it's like, and again, because this is pretty new and we are at the tip of the spear in this thing, is like everything is new and different and no one knows anything about anything, and the only tutorials that you find around are 10-year-olds telling you how to do a sliding door with a bunch of different things. You have a door that slide, because I've seen it in game. So yeah, it's been difficult. Like I'm very this thing is another weird thing that is happening with the lights here. But yeah, that thankfully we're not going looking back there when we enter this room, because there's going to be a bunch of people to shoot here. So yeah, allow me to show you how far have I gotten into this mess. So the first thing to notice is that my primary goal here was not to use anything. Yeah, I mean, those assets are for free. There are, because my first instinct was, all right, why have an UEFN, right? Like, what was the original thing behind it? And it was to make different stuff that what you can find out with creative. With creative, you had everything that Fortnite offered in terms of assets to construct all your stuff. So when UEFN hits, it was for us to have a way of getting new things into the island, right? So all of this is from free content. If you want to make sure you find it, you go to the marketplace and you're going to have to go to the permanent free collection. So you go free, permanent free collection. So all of these were stuff that were created by actual content creators, and somehow, maybe because they didn't have enough time to keep maintaining it to new versions, like they donated the thing to Epic, and now all of these is for free for you to use, right? And if we set these to be 100 per page, and if we get almost to the bottom of this thing, we are going to find this thing right here. So it's the modular sci-fi season 2 starter pack. It is not the complete thing. It's just a part of it, just one of the maps. This thing has a bunch of different maps in it. So if you want to reuse it, feel free to grab it. It's fairly safe, because that was, another big struggle. Like if you try to put very cinematic things with photogrammetry, type of stuff inside UEFN, you're going to find the boundaries of UEFN like right there. 4K textures and a bunch of different stuff that are not really game assets. You're going to hit the limit of this thing like amazingly fast. So if I could give you a tip, like try to find things that you want to put inside UEFN to be game assets. So I know that this, when you check it out, you can see that everything has like very good textures, and you can watch it, right here. Everything has a very nice texture to it. And still, everything is simple enough, right? So there are not photogrammetries that will be very heavy, because you are going to be hitting this project size like very, very, very fast, all right? So for example, I have a bunch of, if you check here on the project size, you can see that because I set it this way, relative to the largest item and by package, you can see that only, this normal here is, and it's a 2K normal. It is like amazingly huge compared with the rest of the textures that I'm using. Like everything is pretty slim and pretty low res, right? And this one I maintain that side because it's the normal for this, and even being a little bit bigger than the rest, still stands out like a little bit low res. But yeah, this is a thing that I couldn't fight. Yeah, it's going to stay like this just because. But yeah, so yeah, game optimized assets are the way to go here. If you find anything that was used on a game, and there are a bunch of those. So if you not only on the permanently free collection, you're going to find a bunch of these, but if you also go to the Epic Game Content, you're going to find out things for games that didn't release in the end. So there is this Edit Finch. And there are a couple of those, like these ones right here. They are not amazingly detailed, but at least they have like a different vibe that everything that has to do with Fortnite, and that might be a thing that we want to do, right? Or at least is what I want to do. I want to take these, not because Fortnite might not be a professional thing, but I want to, separate myself from the actual game and start bringing things, even though, again, everything that you can do in UEFN will only be able to be published into Fortnite Island, all right? There is no other way, like it's not going to be its own standalone thing, right? But again, it has its perks because, everybody being able to install Fortnite in a couple of minutes and be able to, jump and get into your attraction or cinematic experience or whatever you're trying to do. Like it's really, really good, right? So yeah, that being said, let me show you how far have I gotten. So I'm going to turn on Fortnite and pray to the god of the OBS not to crash like it did last time. I need like a second computer. I do have a second computer, and I need to set this whole thing operation to be able to run, to stream from another computer that is not a computer where I'm running, UEFN, because sometimes I do have like UEFN and Unreal Engine and Fortnite open at the same time, and the things start, taking its toll. Like no matter how good your computer is, you are bound to hit, a fair limit. It's just too much, right? Or how much you can ask out of a machine to do, right? This is not like a piece of a computer, but it is, it's a really nice computer. Like I'm doing the whole thing, streaming out and playing UEFN and doing all the things. Let me just check out that, let me go here and check here. Yeah, this thing might be awfully loud, so I'm going to turn down a little bit my desktop audio. All right. So that's it. So I have Fortnite open here, and I do have UEFN open there, and I'm going to simply launch the session. And I gotta make sure that this is in connect to platform, because if it does, it will create its mini Fortnite window here to play. But yeah, it's not that good. It's a lot better to have it on its own, instance, because you can connect and disconnect without having to turn off, Fortnite every time that you want to stop the game. So this is a much better way. All right, so now I'm loading into the edit session just because this thing is already validating the project, and hopefully, because I have not added anything new and it's uploading the project, everything is good. Now it's on its way. All right, more comments on the chat. So fingers crossed. Yeah, it's uploading already. Thank you very much. If you don't mind, what is your spec? So I'm running a laptop, and that is because I want a nomad type of life, pretty soon. I want to travel a little bit. And I want to pack up, the whole experience of, doing lessons and teaching and doing the fellowship and doing, this kind of, streams on the road. And so I bought a laptop. And at the time, I was testing, like, what do I really want? And I wanted something portable enough, but powerful enough, to run everything, and not, to break the bank. So I found out these, and I love to buy not all computers, but out of fashion computers that for some reason didn't sell well, and then you can grab them for a little bit less. So I bought this thing that is called the Asus ProBook something. If I will have to go through the thing, but yeah, this thing is a computer made to do like artwork and Photoshop and stuff like that. It does have a couple of controls and a dial and stuff that you can use. So yeah, so this thing has 64 gigabytes of memory. That's a must. You need to have enough memory to be running, different programs at the same time. The second thing is that it has Ryzen 9, so it's a very fast, and with 16, it's a very fast mobile CPU with 16 threads, which is, good enough, because you will need, some very punchy CPU to be able to do mostly the shader compilations and any other type of compilations that Unreal will need. And it does have a mobile 3070 in it. The only bad thing of the whole thing is the 3070, not because of the speed, but because of the amount of memory. It only has 8 gigabytes of VRAM, which is not bad, but it's not great. Like Unreal love to spread its legs into as much video memory that you can have, and Unreal will feel more comfortable with anything that has more than 8 gigabytes. Like less than 8 gigabytes is impossible to run like anything, and you're going to have to resource, as I do on this one, to not be running the highest, right, there we are. Not to be running the highest resolution of my monitor. Like I'm halving it. This thing runs in 4K. In something like 1080p, but for the squarish type of, laptop monitors, right? Or screens. So this is what I got right now, right? Let me just, fly about a little bit. So I have a couple, maybe I should not do this from here because it's a little bit harder. So I can show it, sorry. I can show it here. If I type G, you can see, what I try. So you're going to be starting here, and you're going to get a gun, and you're going to have to open this thing up. So let me just read out, because I wanted to publish this thing. Like last night, I was about to publish the thing, but then they asked me to have some cinematics and stuff for the game, and I didn't have anything like that, and they were rejecting it because you need to have some sort of video showing, you know, what it is so they can review it. That's fair, right? So it is called Escape the Genetics Laboratory. It's going to be a fun little experience, and you got captured by the Genetics Guild, and they're planning to do some nasty experiments with you, but they didn't count on you smuggling a gun into your cell. So the door is not locked, but there are guards everywhere. So pick your gun, grip your teeth, and shoot your way out. The main point of this game is to test, you know, contents from the free Unreal Engine content. And, you know, there is a bunch of things to do. And, you know, the instructions are: get your first pistol, make your way through the first guards, get increasingly powerful weapons to fight more dangerous enemies, and practice your aim because, you know, you gotta be prepared for the last boss fight. That is not ready, by the way, but yeah. So let's see how it goes. Let's hit escape and start game, and that's it. We are in. Let me know if the shots and everything, because shots in Fortnite, oh, close. Shots in Fortnite are like very, very loud. Oh, and I should also switch these to my earpiece so you don't get the feedback of all the shooting. Oh my God. On my mic. All right, so there it is. They are already outside, and I can open this thing, and they're very dumb. You know, they should be shooting at me. Well, they are. There it is. And they will try to get cover, so I might add a couple of things for them to take cover. And don't do that, because it's horrible. Come on. Oh my God, I got hit bad. All right, so you get rid of the first guys, and this is one of the things that I've been fighting with, and that is that the trigger, that is this thing up here that will open this door, will open as soon as you eliminate the guard. But there is more than one guard, but as soon as you kill the first one, the door is open. So it's not bad, but it's not great. So once the door is open, you're going to have, you know, some way of getting your health up here. It's not there yet, but then you will be able to get, you know, better weapons, right? And now if we open up here, we're going to have, you know, other types of guards, and these are going to be a little bit, and that is a boss. That one is a little bit tougher. And you're going to see that this one does have like a little bit of a shield, and it has more health on it. And he shoots a little bit better. But then you get these kind of things, you know, these dudes getting stuck there. So I must maybe start adding stuff, right, to those corners so they won't get... Like, I know these dudes are made really for an open space, and they're very bad at navigating this thing. So they get stuck in these positions. It's weird. Now here comes the scary part. Like now a bunch of wolves, you know, got spawned. Like they get spawned when you shoot the last guy there. So that will solve a little bit of the situation when you have a boss into your in the experience. These dudes sometimes open the doors on themselves. I don't know how they do it, but yeah. So if you hear me scream in a second because there is a wolf chasing me, that's going to be a thing for sure. So as soon as you kill the last boss, the doors open and the next set of enemies get spawned. So you don't have anything spawn at the same time. And now you can open it up, and there are a bunch of wolves that will try to eat me up. They're not smart. Oh my God, get away. So sometimes they even, you know, get out and start chasing you. But yeah, so like that. So they should start chasing me out. Like that. So I don't think I'm going to make it this time because I have very low health. Oh, recharging. Oh, I got killed. And again, I don't have like like a starting or ending scene or anything. So that's why I want to do a little bit of cinematics. So let me try to run this thing again without so much explanation and see if I can beat it so you can watch the whole thing. All right, so let me open up. Come on. There it is. Now let me get this thing. Let me recharge. There it is. Oh my god, I got hit again. There it is. All right. So now reload, grab the shotgun. Maybe I will start with these 10 shots here to soften them up. Now let me see if they don't charge me. All right, there it is. Let me reload. Go back. This thing is great because every time you shoot them, they fly back a little bit. They get knocked back. And we have been learning about, you know, all the different weapons in Fortnite, like with the different qualities. They have like different things on them. One of the things is this shotgun, you know, the gold one, the yellow one, the mustard one, orange one, knocks back people. All right, now you get this new, you know, sniper, and this thing is like a pet because I didn't realize that the navigation here is so awful. Like I had to add there is a invisible floor that I had to add because the things that you can bring out, you know, from outside UEFN doesn't have navigation, so they won't navigate, for example, on these stairs. But yeah, you know, one less thing to, you know, worry about, right? And now these dudes are going to be there, and these do shoot very well. So I gotta make sure to get them out fast, like this. Oh my god. So what is going to happen is as soon as I kill the last one, the thing is going to, you know, end. The same as if I died, right? There is no intro, there is no outro. So again, a lot needs to be done, but, you know, it's getting better. So let me get rid of this one. And now there should be only, you know, a couple, maybe one or two, you know, at the end. So I can, you know, go down here and I can check it out. There it is. So, all right. That's one. So if I kill this one, no, there is one more. And I'm almost dead. There should be one more because I killed everything and I didn't win the game. Right. So this should be a much better, you know, final boss fight with a big boss. And, you know, I'm going to put some of these, you know, inside here, like shooting out from these places. It should be epic, right? And with a bunch of, you know, health stuff, you know, down here. So you can regain a little bit of health. And then when you are done, you're going to enter up here, and then it's going to be a cinematic, and that is what is going to be. So no audio from me or from Fortnite. Right now I turn it up a little bit. No audio from Fortnite. Forced enemy collision. Oh, yeah, the collisions are awful. Like every time they have this sort of, you know, very close corner, like they're bound to, you know, get stuck here, and more so if there are a bunch of them. So yeah, I may have to rework a little bit of the spawns because maybe I can spawn some, you know, and then spawn some more so they don't get stuck, so they honcho like in pairs. Oh, and this thing keeps spawning. Huh, that's weird. It shouldn't. Oh, this one also. All right. So yeah, this is what I have. and very soon it will be, much better. So I was trying, for the first time to do like an upload as a creative island. So the first step is to make it like a private thing, right? So you can invite a few people, and a few people can, join in and check out, the progress and everything. But I couldn't because, they will ask you for, everything. Like if it was, the final thing, like a little bit of a manual and with cinematics and with a trailer and stuff like that. So today I might do that. Like right now I want to start, checking out the cinematics out of, UEFN. They shouldn't be too hard, right? So let's see how it goes. It shouldn't be so hard. I that's what I thought, from the start. Like this shouldn't be that hard, but it is. So yeah, about the collision and the navigation thing, let me just show you what I mean by that. So if I select these, where are those meshes? Utility geometry. Sorry. So in the utility geometry, I have a bunch of shadow things, right? Because it doesn't matter if it's, sun outside. I want this to be pitch black. So only, the influence from the internal, lights should be the thing. And I do have a bunch of planes. And if you select any of these planes and you search for navigation, it will says use auto nav mesh flag. Oh, all right, that's good. But what would happen if I select anything that I, uploaded from Unreal Engine? There is no flag for that. So it's only can ever affect navigation. And if you turn it on, they're going to be stuck to the ground and just turning around. It looks funny. Like a bunch of people in the same spot, turning around, trying to find you. It's stupid. But yeah, so the only way I could, make that work was to add those. So, they are there, but they're hidden with a hide material. So let me show you how big they are. So, like plane, and there it is. So if I type G, nope, UEFN, bad, UEFN, bad. What are you doing? Select these, be cool. All right. So now type G, and we should see how big these things are. Maybe. Oh, they are so hidden that it won't show. But yeah, it's this. It's exactly this. It's just a plane, and then I hide it with the mhide material, and that's it. It will be gone. So now I'm going to try to do a little bit of cinematics, right? So I want to showcase this full thing with the camera, going through, doing this, fly through, right? This is what I want. And, as it flies through, it will be opening, all the doors and everything. So let's see how it goes. All right. So let's check they want the whole thing. Yeah. Just not even, because, if you go here, project, you can upload a private version, or you can publish the project. So I was trying to upload to my, a private version of it, and it will ask you for a bunch of things. And in the end, the thing, simply won't allow you because of some, I don't know, like you must sign up some things to be a creator for Epic. And I couldn't find, any response on how to do that. But I know that you can submit the work for they to, approve it. So I was trying to do that. And then they asked me, for the cinematics. And anyhow, I want to learn to do cinematics here. So let's try it. So first thing, new folder, cinematics. That's it. Let's get in. Right click. Let's create a level sequencer. And it's done. Now we can save it. And let's try this thing. Let me, just add it. Can I add you here? I should be able to add you. Nope. Wait. All right. Be cool, UEFN. Be friendly. All right. It cannot be an actor. Huh. How so? All right. This is a thing that I might need to, check out on how to do, because, you know, um, a level sequence should be able to be an actor that then you can, set it up to be like autoplay and stuff like that. It doesn't matter. It might be some, so maybe here, cinematic, camera shake, cine camera actor. Yep, there's nothing there. All right, I will find out how to do that later. For now, let's start with this. First thing first, 30 FPS is crap. We must go with 24 because that is cinematics, right? And that's it. Now, the next thing is that I would need camera. And so let's click here. This, exactly creates that. And I'm guessing this thing cannot be converted to spawnable. Nope, there is no way. That's good. It doesn't matter. All right. So it's going to be a physical camera right there that we cannot, hide if the cinematic is on or off, which is good. It doesn't matter. So next thing is let's make this thing a little bit bigger. I for sure will want this thing to last, a couple of seconds, right? For me to be able to, run through the whole thing. This is going to be hard because we don't have a rail, to attach the thing to. So we're going to have to do manual, animation. Let me turn off my notifications. And there it is. All right. So, all right, there is the cine camera actor. Yeah. How will it capture those spawn objects when you do the fly through? Right. This first fly through won't have any enemies. It's just to showcase the the space and everything. So it won't have the actual things. I may learn how to do it pretty soon, but for now I don't have those abilities. So for now I'm just going to simply grab my camera actor, and I'm going to change it a little bit because it feels a little bit crowded here. Might be because it's a 35, and that might be not wide enough, right, for this enclosure. So if I start and so I'm already piloting my camera, so I can see how small, and so cramped this thing is with a 35. So I may need to use something like a 20 or a 14, something like that. So let me try at 25 and let's see. Now I get a little bit more, which is not bad. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change my film back to make it bigger. So I'm going to a full frame. And now, the thing frames a little bit better, right? But now it's squarish, right? And we might not want this thing to be so squarish. We want it to be landscaping. And let's see if this camera has, the latest of the latest. So I should somewhere be able to do the focal length. This is good. This is good. This is good. So it's not here. Maybe in film back. No, it doesn't have the new things. This is so weird, right? To have stuff that works in Unreal Engine 5, but it's not working here. But they still, I don't know how they are managing this, really. This is so weird, right? This thing is a 5.11 version, right? It's not even close to a 5.11 in terms of stuff in it, right? So to have a thing so different, so radically different, and still name it 5.11 is silly, right? I know this is Fortnite Creative 2410, whatever, but still, having like a camera that doesn't have everything that a camera does in 5.1 or in the Unreal Engine side of a 511. It's weird. So I don't think we're going to be able to use the full frame because it's too squarish. So what I might do is to simply get to the film back and just rewrite, this height, right? So the width is all right. So the height might be a little bit too much. So I'm going to shorten it to maybe 16, almost half, right, of what the 36 is. And that's it. So now it's a lot squarish, maybe too squarish now. Let me go a little bit up, 18. All right, that's it. Later, I will find like a bigger sensor, right? That will give me, a lot of, depth of fields and everything that looks good with, the added feature of, having a good sense of, what's around, a nice wide lens on it. So 25 is working. Let me even lower a little bit more my aperture, just because I want, to have those, this thing right there, right? You want this to look, pretty nice with that depth of field. And that's it. So now my camera is pseudo ready. I might tweak it a little bit more, in the future. But yeah, it's working. So there's nothing much here, like the focus settings. Right now it's like to focus on everything. I might change this also, depending on when I cross, one of these doors and everything. But let's, start with how am I going to open up this door? And I don't think this is going to be possible, mainly because, actors that are UEFN Fortnite actors are very, very, you cannot open anything, like unable to edit a cooked asset. You cannot do anything with mainly anything that you can find from, UEFN Fortnite folder. So what I might do is, first of all, I'm going to take all these Arctic vase, doorway, center stuff, and I'm going to add them to the sequencer, right? And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to set my camera at the top, is to hide them all, right? So I'm going to go track and hidden in game, and I'm going to turn it off. So now they won't be there. Now, if I want to control, the same property out of many actors, all I need to do is to do it on one actor, right? And now I can select a bunch of those. And I believe these are all my doors. Let me just check that out. All right, behave, UEFN, don't be like that. You're cool, that's it. So now I can see that, yeah, all my doors are selected. And now I can right click on the actor and I should be able to add selected. And that's it. So now one actor track is like a group actor track. And now, because they all share the same property, they will all act the same. So now I can hide them all here. And the good thing is that this thing should only work while I have this sequencer open. If I, turn off this sequencer, all my doors are going to be there and everything is going to be fine, right? That's the magic, behind the level sequencer. That's why it's called a level sequencer, because it is a level. It is the alter ego of your, or a different reality of your level. All right. Let me check out this thing. All right, looks great, says Sapidev. I think he left. That's all right. We can still, keep doing a little bit of work before going and hitting a little bit of the gym to then, come back home and start being creative and do stuff. All right. So that's it. Cool. So let's now add a bunch of doors because, yeah, I'm going to have to do my own door, stuff with this sequencer thing. Another thing that I hate is the thumbnails on the camera cut. Those are hideous. Like, you don't need them. And they only take space and processing power of your machine, you don't need those. You know what this thing should be capturing anyhow, right? So now let me add a bunch of those doors that I know that I will find in my Fortnite thing. If I go to Arctic, no, that's not how you, is Arctic for some reason. There it is. And now I want doors from the Arctic stuff. So now I have those doors and I have the same door that I'm using. So now I can grab this one, put it there and rotate it, this way around and set it as the other one is. But just because I want it to look like the true thing, I'm going to the actual door that now it's hidden like this one. And I'm going to copy the actual size of it. So this is the size that I assigned to that to the actual door, and I want this fake cinematic door to be exactly the same size. So I'm going to lock the scale and I'm going to paste this number there, and now I should have a door that resembles the same as the actual door, right? I might need it to be a little bit bigger because I'm using a little bit of the framing of the thing, and yeah, it will need a little bit more of a height maybe. So let me check. Is it close on the top? Almost. Is it close on the bottom? It's true closed. So how big is this thing? 1.17, 1.18. Maybe that's not good enough. So 1.2. All right, that's good enough. Cool. So it should be mostly the same. Like no one is going to come with a measuring tape and saying, this door is too small. Not at all. So that's it. Now I have my first door, and this means that I need now to grab this thing. All right, let me animate this one and see if everything is going to be all right, right? Because I have learned with a little bit of trouble that you should not count your chickens before they hatch in this UEFN. So this is good. Now I have a door. I can drag this door, put it, inside this thing, and I'm going to do a very easy animation. Just track, transform track, and yeah, at some point around here, I can put a key, and I'm going to try it like this just to see. And a couple of seconds later, it should be, around there. And let's add another key and let's see how this works. Like very slow, which is not bad. Like the mystery of the thing should not be, but again, because this is sci-fi, it should be a lot snappier. So now we can grab our handle here and let's see. Yeah, that is not bad. Good. That looks great. Cool. So it's working, and now I do have the actual animation of the thing. But for this animation to work on all the different doors, I gotta make sure that I will only use what I need. So rotation, I don't need you, and scale, I don't need you, and in the channels of the location, I won't need much of those. So I only need the X one, and the Y, and this one can simply go away. Now this thing should still, no, it's not. All right, so which one of you has the actual information? Oh, it's the Y. Even though it's pointing this way, Unreal, really? All right, that's good. Be gone, and Z be gone, and you still should open up. Great. All right, it's working. Now let's grab this door and have a bunch of new doors installed. So let's call the doorman and start, holding Alt and then Shift so we can move with our door. And we should set up another door here. Yeah, mostly it's good. I know that I'm going to be tweaking, all about, these doors before the day's out. But yeah, Now let's create another one of these. And now this one should be pointing this way around, and let's put it back there. And nice thing is that all doors have the same height in terms of the location of it. So I can simply go, very fast duplicating and just moving it around. And that should be good enough. That's it. Now, next one. Let's go inside here. Let's rotate this thing like this. And let's move it back there. Like this. And back here. And that's it. Good. Another door by the dust. Another door by the dust. Don't hit me with a copyright strike. Another door by the dust. Hey. Where is it? There it is. Right, another door. Oh my God. You are surely very bored looking at me, watching me, creating doors for this thing. But, the work is the work, and it is what it is. We must duplicate doors, right? To later on be able to open them up. So that's it. This might be good enough. So I do have a door here. Oh, I'm missing a door. So let's grab this one and duplicate this one, move it around there, and that's going to be wonderful. So there is a door, another door, another door, another door, door, and we are at the start. This door is already opening, so that's good. Now let's add those bunch of new doors. So this one is the first one that is already here, ain't it? Yeah. So let's start naming these things because it might get weird. So I know that in the end these ones are not in a particular good order because this one is the last one. Yeah. So this one is the 9 door. So this is 9 0, and this one is going to be now 8 because it's the previous one. Maybe. Am I right? No, this is not the previous one. So this is 8, that is 9, and this is 7. So this is now 70. And 7 is going to be 8. That's it. And 70 is now 7. That is good. And 9 is 9. That is good. All right. Now I can, keep adding this to my cinematics without knowing that I'm going to, turn completely bonkers trying to figure out which door is which. That's it. So now let's grab 2 to 9, and this one we cannot, even though it's the same transform and stuff, we will need them to be exactly different, right? So, but what I can do is to grab this transform track, and that's the beauty out of Sequencer. Hey Logan, how are you? Happy Monday. Cool. So I'm cinematics. I'm cinematicing, UEFN and see how it, how it goes. All right. So I can grab the actual transform of the first door, and because in Sequencer everything is a track and it doesn't matter where it is, which is a beautiful, workflow. We can now select all of our doors and simply hit paste, and now they will all be able to open up at the same exact time. Another thing that I would do is to actually create a folder, track folder like this. Oh my God, my nose. Every time I start talking, like my nose gets very stuffy. And my God, I feel like I'm speaking like with a cold. All right. So this is going to be the door folder. And this is a must, right? If you want to do this, because it's like the easiest way of being able to, expand and contract all the attributes that might be useful, fairly soon. Another thing is that this thing has the wrong ordering, because why not? It was in order before I put it inside the folder, and now everything is wrong. So again, just because I'm a freak, I will need to, my OCD won't let me. Again, you work as you work, I work as I work. Like, we don't have to fight about it. Crazy people. All right, that's it. So now all the doors are, doing its stuff at the same time, which is great. I think, let me, no. All right, you know what? This worked, but the actual Y, not the Y of the Y, but the Y transform is like making everything horrible here. So what I'm going to do is to, I want to set this transform as additive, right? And I think I can do this from here. Can I switch you to additive? So edit section. Nope. Tracks defaults. Nope. Add section. Yeah, I know that I can add a section. So what I might do is this. So I'm going to get rid of all those transforms that I just created. And I'm going to show you why. Because I can grab this, and this. Not the first one. The first one is good. Right? And I'm going to delete all these transforms, and they are going to jump back to where they were. Right? There are more doors. Cool. And what I'm going to do now is the first door, I'm going to, because I don't know how to set up additive transform, I know that I can create one. So I can go add a section, make it an additive, and it should be the length of my whole thing, not just the length of this thing. Or you know what? It should be the length of this thing. It doesn't matter. It's going to work anyways. And now what I can do is to actually take this information, the animation information from the start and the end, copy it, go to where this key is, and paste it on the additive. That will make this thing double transform. And that is all right. You're going to see that it will go even further. But now what I can do is to delete the original transform and keep just the additive, which is great because now this thing is just an additive transformation, to the thing. Oh, it reverts, right? Because it's additive, it should. All right, but you can right click on this thing and no, it's not on the actual key. It should be on the actual thing. And do you have the pos infinity? Yeah, it is. So this thing should be the pos infinity constant. So yeah, this thing should hold. All right, it's not holding because there is no track. And because it's additive, like it won't. So what I'm going to have to do is to actually make this thing, right, the length of, all right, wait. So I want the actual, this to be bigger, but not the animation. So the door will hold in place, right? There it is. And let's put these there. Someone is asking something. Let's check. So that modular sci-fi pack, it's fun to play with. Glad it looks so good in UEFN. It looks exactly the same. Like I had to sacrifice things like the fog and a couple of, because it does have cascade particles, and UEFN doesn't support cascade things. And I was too lazy to convert them to Niagara because again, things can, not work at all, right? But yeah, so now this thing should open and stay open. That's good. And because now it's an additive track, I should be able to copy it. Let me go to where this thing starts just to be sure. Copy the transform. Let's paste it on this one and let's see. Let's save this sequencer. Just, yeah. Come on. Oh my God. Oh, it crashed. I love how this thing silently crashing you. Like it is completely crashed, but still, the thing is right there as your desktop, your new UEFN desktop. All right, so let's see. You know that a thing crashes a lot when in your Steam Deck you have a button to start the task manager. Yeah, it is right there. So now let's end this task and turn it on again. And you know that the thing crashes a lot when in your Stream Deck you also have a shortcut to start UEFN. Yeah. Right, it should be starting pretty soon. And this is the nice thing of having your Fortnite separate from your UEFN, because it simply, stop being connected. And as soon as you connect a new session or create a new session, the thing will auto connect and it will simply load you in, the experience. Oh, yeah, we are back. All right, so OBS is crap, to tell you the truth. This thing is not working well, or not even as intended. Yeah, I'm very discouraged with this thing not working. Like, even though I can't, be always, aware of the thing, sometimes I simply will, start getting into the work and not watching and monitoring what is going on. And, the OBS will simply crash, which is awful, right? To say the least. All right, let's continue then. So what I don't know if, I think the audio always went through, but the thing was stuck at the Fortnite thing, at the Fortnite window. All right, but that's it. Now we should not have Fortnite running just because, and I'm going to try this and see if that was a thing. All right, so now let's continue. So again, I do have this door opening and that is good. And all the doors are now, below ground. And this additive transform should make everything good. Right, and so now the only thing I need is to let me go here and keep playhead. Yeah, all right, that is good. Now I can copy this transform and paste it on this second door. All right, now it's working. Now it's in place and it will animate, and this will save me maybe a little bit of time. It was just 9 doors. I should have, animate them all, right? But that's it, right? Now let me get the rest of them and I should be able to paste the transform, and now they all should be opening and closing. Nope. All right, this was a silly idea. I will animate them by hand because, yeah, now I see my error. So maybe it's just 2 doors, right? So those 2 doors, I will have to animate them, and not even animate them. I should change this. So, all right, let me see how many of those are doing the funny thing. Just these 2. You see, nothing is easy. Everything is, have its own thing. So this thing should not be here. And let me get real close, not to exactly do that. And I'm going to select these 2 keys and I'm going to copy them and I'm going to paste them on the X. Now, and now this thing should do the wonky thing, but now it should be good because now I can delete this one. And now it's good. Cool. But it did break this thing. So it should be around there. All right, now it's good. Again, is it? Oh, this one should be 0. Just so you know, that's it. Now this one should be a little bit further in, like around there. That's good. Now it's working. Now let me try and save this and check my source so I know that OBS hasn't crashed, because that's a thing now apparently. That's it, right? Now let me do exactly this. So again, this thing is from 0 to 163. Let's do it. So now I can grab this one, open up the transform, open up the location, and this thing should go from 0. Let me delete this. Again, taking this thing to 0. And this one should be from 0 to 164. 164. And that's it. Now we have a key there. And right. You should be 0. You silly door. Now it's working properly. All right. Now I have working doors, apparently. And now all I need is to time them. And that is going to be the easy part, right? So yeah, let's now start creating our cinematics. So maybe, for the camera, what I want to do is to hide these doors, right? Because I don't want to go and animate 2 things at the same time. So what I'm going to do to hide them is to actually take this full thing. So you're going to see that at some point they're going to be open, right? But I'm going to grab this and move it enough there. So they are all right. No, that is not working. Another way that I can hide them is by creating... Can I? Do I have that thing here? World partition tools? Nope. Really? This thing works with world partition, but it doesn't have the actual world partition data layers. All right, my cat is trying to run away. I'm going to close the window. Give me just a second. I'll be back. All right, we are back. Now the cat is secure. He's longingly, looking through the window like, I was there before. There was upon a time when I ran free out of a window. No, you're here now with me, dude. All right, that's it. Now, what I was saying is that I might not want to see this source for now. But it seems... What? Oh, all right. Sorry. That was stressful, seeing those doors not opening. All right, that's it. Now I do have opening doors. That's good. You know what? I could start animating from here. It's all right. I can take all these Door animation. All right. Don't you know I'm pressing shift? Oh, right. I need to select them individually. Cool. Right. So, all right. Now they should be open. Now I can fix this, later on. So the doors are working. Everything is working. And now what we need is the camera. So let's start moving this camera around and see if this is going to be possible, right? Because, to tell you the truth, animating a camera doing, some sort of, path without a rail rig, it's always the recipe for disaster. So I may rage quit in the middle of this. So be aware, but I'm going to try to keep my, the thing together, right? So now let me look through this camera, and I want to start, maybe from up here, like it's a security camera. Or even, can I go through this thing? Oh, this thing looks cool. I could go and try to slit in like this. No, it's not going to be good. So let me start like this. All right, this is going to be my first camera movement. So I'm going to start right in there. Not from the actual start, but I want to have a couple of frames of me just standing there and then starting to move. And that's it. Now I can start pitching down while I move down, like to here, so I can see the actual door. Now I do have this movement is awfully fast. Now I'm thinking that I'm going to need like a lot of frames to make this thing looks correctly. So yep, I'm going to have to add a bunch of frames. That's good. I will fix the doors later. I know that they're working. And all right, that looks fine. Once I get there, I want to make sure, that I do this. I want to make sure that I can see, these blinking lights. Right? So screw the blinking lights. What I really need is this thing to go up to there so the door can open, like click. And maybe, no, that wasn't what I wanted to do. And yeah, let's do this. That's it. All right, now my cat is being a dick trying to get out. Right, so now I'm here. Now I'm there. Let me hit G. That's it. And this is good. And now we're going through this first door, and we should pick up a little bit of speed by going through like this. So I should get upon here. So what I'm going to do is that this first round is going to be just of the traveling, and then maybe in the middle I will do some additives of looking around or doing something. All right, but now I want to check out just the speed of this thing, and this thing is awfully nope. Move that there a little bit faster. Right, that's it. It seems a little bit bumpy, but we can massage that later. This is too slow. This is simply too slow. I don't want it to pick up too much speed, but yeah, definitely it was too slow. You know what I mean? And I'm not even, on the other side. So now let me see about there. We should be inside here, and I'm going to try. I hate when cameras does this and then go all the way there. When they bounce, I hate that from a camera. So I'm gonna try and see if this is going to be workable. Like me going in and doing once like this. Right, that is good. Now I should, the second door should open, and I will start crossing. You know what? I'm going to go all the way through this like this, up to around there. And let's see the speed. Now I'm crossing, and now I follow through, and this will have a little bit of a camera shake, so the thing doesn't feel like too, machine, right? Is the OBS working? It is. Thanks God. All right, praise the Lord. Now again, in this small time, I will get in, this way around, and there it is. It should be around here. Right, good. Now, what I want from this one is to be a little bit low, because I want to start, going through these things, so they, it shows the quality out of this thing. Even though I didn't do it, I'm feeling very proud, that this thing could be in Fortnite, more quality, a thing that is, worth of, a AAA. Again, yeah, you may say that Fortnite is AAA. But yeah, it needs more photogrammetry cinematics. That's it. Right, so now, again, I'm going to continue here, but a little bit lower, so we can catch a little bit of the ground and everything passing by like this until I'm there. All right, like looking a little bit up. Let's see how this looks. So now I'm going a little bit low and now forward. That thing's a little bit of a tumbler. I will fix it later. But that's it. Now I'm going through, and now at this point I should be a little bit lower. So I'm going to do this, right? Put an in between there. All right, that is looking cool. All right. That is good, right? Now, again, because this thing, let me just go through inside here, a little bit up. Again, like this. So it gets to there, and now it's going to rise a little bit like this. This is good. This is feeling nice. Now I should continue my fly around, but maybe, from above here, so I can catch a little bit of this like this, right? And I will stop there as usual. And now let's see how fast this thing elevates or rising the camera. So at this point, I want it to be a little bit higher like this. Good. Now let's check it. Now I'm here. Now let's see if I don't hit the top of the frame. No, it's good. Now I'm there. I should be looking a little bit down, but then, with an additive, I will do a little bit of, of turning around, but I don't care now. I just need to get through to the other side of this thing. Now I'm there, and now, a little bit further, just to cross in, right? Like this way around, let me check this movement. I'm there. Now I'm going to start crossing to the right. And that's it. I can show this thing, this way around. And because I don't like bouncing the camera, I will continue, this movement around like this. Oh, but then I showcase this awful thing. Oh my God, how I'm going to do this? I don't care. If the thing looks bad, it's not my fault. I will try to make this better. There is that issue there. It might be also, that I'm running lower, scalability settings. This thing is awfully slow. That's it. You see? You see that thing there? Oh, that thing is going to haunt me in the end. You know what? I could look at that something else. Like the ceiling, maybe? Oh, there's nothing happening on the ceiling. Maybe the floor, like about there. Let's see if I can, make this a little bit less focused on that door like this. Oh yeah, this might work. It will show a little bit, but not that much. That is good. So now I can continue tumbling around, this way, up to here. Let's see. And there it is. I keep going this way around. Now let's raise, pick up, look up. That's it. So maybe around here, I should already be looking at this. So Epic, you want a cinematic of my stuff? Well, here it is. This is going to be the cinematics. That's it. And now I should continue forward, showcasing this whole thing up to there. Let me see the speed. Yeah, it's working good. And now I get to the end where I simply, maybe it's going to be around there, where I'm, positively getting inside to the skate pod or whatever is going to be the thing. Like this. Let me check the speed. And there it is. I'm coming in. And then I will turn all the way this way, to follow the same direction. And let me see, how back can I go to have this thing to be like centered like this. That's good. Let's check the speed, because I don't want throwing up, making people throw up. That's it. It's good enough. It could be, everything could be a little bit, faster, but that's okay. I can grab this handle and make everything as fast as I need, as it needs to. All right. So now let's check the whole thing. Let me save first my sequencer. That's it. Now let's check the whole thing. Let's maximize this thing, immersive mode. And, oh, right. I need this to be, cinematic viewport. And yeah, everything that I worked for, there it is. All right, let me just check it. Yeah, all right. Let's go. Cinematic, immersive mode. Now hit play. All right. So yeah, stranded in a cell door. We're fighting our way out this cell, this prison. And yeah, it's showcasing this thing. I want, to look at everything around, to have a little bit of a POV type of experience. All right, this is good. I love the changing of those, different lightings, from blue to red. Now, a little bit cyan. It's very, very good. This one is a little bit slow, going down there, but it's good. Now we can go through this thing, that lovely depth of field hitting the thing. Again, I'm going to be focusing on each door until the thing, opens up. So I'm guessing everything is good. Everything is too slow for sure. I must, pick up the pace a lot here. So yeah, let me see. how we get to the end and check out this, you know, wonderful 360. That's it. Now look down. Now pick up. That's it. And now all the way around. So the way that we're going to know if we have something wrong is accelerating the whole thing a little bit. And then we're going to see if we have some bumps in the camera, or even if, you know, we have some, you know, hard movement or snappy movement. And now we're getting into this thing and we go all the way. So for example, that acceleration there might be a thing when I accelerate everything up, but let's check. Right. This is looking very, very good. Good. I'm happy. I'm happy with what we got. Yeah. In the end, this thing is not center. It should be a little bit to the right. So let's go here. Turn off the immersive mode. Grab my camera. Get to that last thing. And yeah, a little bit there. That is how it should be. Good. Now, let's grab the whole thing and make it a little bit faster. Now let's check the speed. All right, now this feels a little bit more urgent. This thing looks like I'm not making you waste your time looking at that thing. Oh my God, the LODs are horrible. I must convert everything to nanite when I can't. That's it. All right, now I'm there. That's good. All right, I like this speed. So what I'm going to do, instead of looking at, you know, the whole thing again, I'm going to do the actual door animation. Now this thing should stop there, right? Something like that. Now let's do the doors. So now I must get all these doors, like this one and this one and this one and this one. This, and this. Now I can make them start there. And each and every one of those, I should make it last. No, you know what? I should do that, but with this thing. Yeah, this is the new, you know, the handle thing that now you cannot, you know, you have only one handle for animation and for, you know, the actual track. And yeah, so the thing might think that you want to make the animation longer while, you know, what you really want is to make the actual transform track longer, right? And the animation the exact same size. That's all right. Now let's take you there. Let's take you there. Either way, when I start moving this thing forward, I'm bound to return here and fix everything. So again, so this door is closed and it shouldn't open there. It should wait a little bit, you know, further. Right, let me close my cinematic actor and just take a look at this first door there. All right, so I want it to open like there maybe. So yeah, as soon as I put this thing there, nope, it should be it. Nope, too much, like there. All right, that was good. Cool. So now I can continue, and yeah, now the second door, I must move up. I know that I want this to be around there, maybe. Like, no, a little bit further in time. Like there. No, too late. Before you start turning, yeah, it's open. As soon as it's open, I want this thing. Oh my God, the snappy thing. That is good. All right. So now what I want is to this actual track to be the length of this thing. And that's it. Cool. Now, next one. Let's move this there, maybe around. Yeah, it's open, and then we continue because we're going to have a little bit of a pause there in the game for you to, get health, get your new gun and everything. So that is fine. So now I know that I'm going to need this thing to be a little bit there. Even further. So what I'm going to try to do is to, let's move the whole thing. It doesn't matter. Good. That was good. Now the next one, right? I want it to open up there. So let's grab this, move it there, make it last from the start. So the door is actually there. Now it will open. So let's check it. So this thing will open. It's going to be more like a Maxwell Smart type of thing. I don't know if you're that old, but if you are, there it is. You open and open and open and open and open. That's good. And now this thing opens, and the next door, that is this one. Nope. A little bit further, like there. That's good. Now let's make this track be the length of our thing. That's it. Now I know I can grab all these 3 remaining ones and start moving them forward, because of course you're going to need this one to open around here. Yep. Good. And again, take this thing, make it the length of that. So this one opens and this one opens, and now we're up there, and this one should open when we are around here, like that. Now let's move this thing to the beginning. And the last one should open around here. A little bit further, maybe, like around there. Like, no, I like it better this way. I'm going to save this sequencer because I don't want this thing to explode. That's it. Cool. And done. That's it. All right, so all the doors are animated. This thing is looking great. That's it. And now all this slack, just because I might even, in the future, make it a little bit better, in terms of timing. What I'm going to do is to give it slack at the front, slack at the end, so I can have a little bit of a tweak space in the timing of the door without having to, extend in the thing, don't cut the thing to the length. Always leave a little bit of slack. That is going to be the tip for today. Slacking is good. That is there. And that is that. That is there. And lastly, that is that. Right, we have working doors. We have a working cinematic camera. Right, so now we can go here. Double click on this camera thing. If you double click on a track, this thing will try to, this, sequencer will focus it and set, your in and out, the actual side of the thing, which is good. And that's it. All right, now let's watch it, right? Why not? So for that, I'm going to risk it for the biscuit, and I'm going to save everything, first of all. and save also the level. So everything is saved and working. And now, lastly, we're going to set these to cinematics just to check out how good this thing would look, right? Oh, look at that. That thing is bright. Cool. Cool. So, yeah, let's put this in immersive mode and run it. Let's see. Waiting, starting. And here we go. Oh yeah, I need to fix the focal plane very soon. And add a little bit of, bobbing. And yeah, this speed is very good. That's it. A little bit of a eye adjustment. Oh, it's not a game still. It will very soon. This is UEFN, and certainly very soon this thing is going to be running on an island, and you're going to have to shoot your way out of this laboratory. It's not going to be a full game. It's just really a thought experiment, to check out if you can put this quality into UEFN and Fortnite. It's going to still have like the actual players for Fortnite, your skin, everything. I will showcase it as soon as this thing ends. So yeah, there is a lot of issues with shadows. But again, this is what it is. And issues with that thing there also, that I don't know what it is. It might be some sort of light that is doing that thing. But yeah, a lot of things that needs to be, make better. All right, and now we are ending up at the final door. And that's it. So this last part is a little bit slower than I would think. And now the camera is traveling sideways. Yeah, a little bit of work there on that camera. And that's it. Now we are safe, in the exit. And boom, we are done. That is good. That is pretty nice. All right. So good. Now let's hit stop. And now let's hit out of the immersive mode. And now let's see if everything is working, right? Because again, everything needs to be tested. I'm going to turn off the sequencer. So now all the, original doors, not the cinematic doors, but the actual gameplay doors should be there. And yep, everything seems to be good. And just for fun, let's start Fortnite and play this thing around again. And that is going to be the end of this broadcast. So let's play it through one more time and then call it a day. All right. So Fortnite, where are you? There you are. All right. See that there are a couple of people in the chat. That's good. It's good. All right. So for all of you who wasn't here, at the start, this is just an experiment. I want to see how much do you need to do to actually be accepted as a creator in Fortnite, and start uploading things and trying to make money out of it also. So all right, now we're here, and as soon as we launch our session in the connected platform, the thing will traverse to the island and test it. So this has quality, right? It looks fine. It doesn't look awful. Like what I tried to do was to have something that is not Fortnite quality. So it's not stylized. So the character is going to be stylized for sure. But the whole thing is going to be again, I tried with photogrammetries and stuff, and it was too heavy, so I had to, end up uploading a free content from Epic that used to be, or at least it seems like it is. And I guess this thing crashed because it does that a lot. So let me wait a little bit and see. No, I'm not going to wait. I know that this thing crashed. So again, it doesn't matter. It will, work fairly soon. So end task Fortnite UEFN, and go ahead, turn on. All right. So again, it's like trying to, you use UEFN as what they sold to us. Like it's a way of us, expanding on what Fortnite is. So you could go and create something out of Fortnite assets, and, you're going to be using Creative 2.0, like, everybody had done in the past. So what I try to do with UEFN is to add something from outside of, of Fortnite assets, and give it just a little bit of a gameplay, right? Nothing crazy, just you trying to get out, shooting your way out of this laboratory with a bunch of guards and things chasing you. So that's it. Now let's try it again to launch. It should launch, or it used to launch this morning. Let's see if now it launches. And that's it. So again, this is not a game. This is me trying to wiggle my way out of my way into, being a creator for Epic, for Fortnite. And if this does work, then I'm going to put in, a lot of work into this thing. So if this thing really works, I'm going to use it. I'm going to try to do something much, much better than this. With some clever type of gameplay. It might not be anything that has to do with any battle royale stuff. It must be more cinematic, in that sense. I want something like from the 3 different. This thing crashed. No, it's still loading. All right. So from the actual 3 different experiences that they now share that allegedly were made with UEFN. I want to do like the first one, right? The one that has the wolves, the one that has the dragon. I want something that it's like a one-shot adventure that, you're going to be discovering a couple of things on the way. Maybe do exactly this, but a little bit longer and bigger, with a bigger map. So you are trying to escape this place and you need to shoot out your way. And it has a little bit of a vibe. You're going to see that for some reason you can, on the island settings, you can set up like a particular color, a color scheme. And I choose the horror one. And it does look, amazing in Fortnite. It does look like some sort of horror film. It has like this, I don't know, Resident Evil type of vibe, but yeah. So fairly soon, fairly soon. It's still preparing. This thing is still loading. Let's wait until it loads. And now that I remember, because I already, saw this thing, I'm going to set everything to high, because high is enough. And that's it. All right, session loading. So let me showcase a little bit. So you start with just a gun, and then as soon as you open this door, there are going to be a couple of guards here, right? And once you shoot them down, this door should open. It does have a lock here, and you're going to be able to, get to this little room where you're going to have a little bit of health in the future and a new gun. And then when you open this door, then, stronger enemies are going to be appearing and you need to deal with them. And once that is done, you're going to get even stronger gun and more enemies with a boss, right, to fight here. This encounter, again, much better weapon. And then an encounter. This encounter is broken. Like the Raptor doesn't know how to climb stairs, apparently. And that's it. It's connected. So, all right, now I'm here. So let me showcase how this thing looks so we can, end up today's thing, right? That's it. Now let's hit escape and hit start game and grab the gun and shoot them. There are gone. Now a new gun. Let's open this thing up. Where is the last one? It's right here. It always does that. There is this dumb bot that always, gets stuck behind things. Well, that's that guy. It's always there. Now here they come. The wolves. Go away. Go away. This dude doesn't seem too bright, but they do bite hard. Like they will grab an awful chunk of your life if you allow them to get closer to you. Again, the navigation is awful. All right, there it is. The thing beat me. Get away. All right, lastly, we get this new weapon and we kill the raptor that doesn't know how to open up, how to, climb upstairs. And be gone, die. All right. And now the thing gets very dangerous because these dudes are, the elite of this thing. Like they really know how to fight. Yeah, they are the... Oh, I'm going to be dead very soon. And... All right. Easy there. All right, I might not be able to get out this time. It's all right. Again, these dudes doesn't know how to climb stairs either, so they're not going to get me here. I think that I must, try to fix, in the future. But conveniently enough, this is going to be just like a sniper fight. And there are a couple more there. And another one here. I have one. No ammo? I have only... Oh. All right. I have one bullet left and one health point left. So this might be epic if there is another dude inside here. I don't believe so. I believe they are all dead. Nope. There are two more there, so I'm dead for sure. I think I kill him, but he kills me also. He killed me also. So that was like a tie. Again, there is no intro, there's no outro still for the game, but it is what it is. And with that, I'm off. This is going to be today's stream. And not many people attended, but, it's all right. Sometimes it is what it is, right? So again, I want to make sure to tell you that take care, be good, and love you all, and I will catch you on the next one. All right. Bye-bye.